Happy to have back on the show, Dalia Al-Akidi. Dalia, really good to have you. The U.S. House Oversight Committee, wow, and the Treasury Department have launched investigations into this massive fraud by, I guess, a group with majority Somali backgrounds who launched a pandemic food aid program for children, no less. But instead of providing food, the taxpayer dollars were used to what? Fund Somali terror groups overseas. Wow, it doesn't get much worse than this. Tell us about the story, and then tell us, are there any ties to Ilhan Omar?
Finally, America is looking at Minneapolis. Finally, America is looking at Minnesota. We've been screaming fraud for years and years, but nobody listened to us because we are Republicans in Minnesota. There are so many big fraud cases, $1 billion that has disappeared, and we're just can't do anything about it. You just spoke about feeding our future case. It's when they say that you are targeting immigrants, that you're targeting Muslims. Let me tell you, 78 people were charged in this case. 77 of them are from the Somali community. That means there is a big problem within this community. And now the community leaders need to step up, need to acknowledge that we have a problem, or they have a problem in their own community, and they need to work with all of us to figure out what are the solution. 100%. Some people knew what others were doing. And yes, we cannot. Can we prove that Ilhan Omar is connected? We don't know. But these are the same people that have been donating to not only to Ilhan Omar, but to many politicians that are praised and pushed by organizations like CARE to run not only in big offices, small offices, like the city council, for example. We do have a problem. Finally, people are looking at us.
You know, and Tim Walz should be on the hook. I think that they're probably look into how much, Tim Walz should be. Remember, the buck stops here. Should be with the governor of the state that this happened under his watch. The question though. Somalis, 78 of the 86 people indicted are Somali.
Of 78, yeah. Of 78. So it's 99%. Yeah. It's not we cannot whitewash this. We cannot say, the majority. 77 out of 78 is 99%. That's the whole case.
It is. Here's my point though. Somalia is a rogue nation. There's no government. There's no formal government. There's no recognized formal government in Somalia. I've talked about this before. If you take a boat, you want to avoid the Somali coast because you're likely going to get pirated because there's no law and order. They come over here and they don't assimilate. Instead, Dalia, they steal the way they do at home. And this is the problem with our immigration system. When you let people in and you don't ask them, you don't push them to become part of the American fabric, they do what they do in their own nation. And Somalia is just a horror show of a nation, right?
There are good people. There are good working families. However, this is what the left wants. What the left wants is to keep these communities. And I'm not just talking about the Somali community. I'm talking about immigrants in general. And I'm talking about Muslim communities. I am a Muslim and I'm a Middle Eastern. I'm an Arab. So I know how the left use the immigrants, use Muslims for political gain. The left in our state, the left decided to turn their heads away so they can gain votes. The left decided to play just like Ilhan Omar perfected the victim card. So you cannot criticize them anymore. That's what the left have been trying to do, and that's how they win in blue states. People now are saying, especially in our district, that Trump or Republicans hate immigrants. Republican hate Muslim. Well, I am a Muslim. I am an immigrant, and I'm a Republican, and I'm the living proof that Republicans have nothing against immigrants or Muslims. Is just, you're in our country. You don't have the right to be, it's not your right, it's a privilege. So if you don't like it here, don't change this system. Try to learn. Don't leave your culture. Nobody's asking you to leave your culture, but do not demonize the culture you're in. Do not make your community or the country or the city you're in to where you came from. Otherwise, why bother?